Welcome to the Retire with Peace podcast, the podcast where we help you create a fulfilling and stress-free retirement. Each week, we bring you expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you plan and live your best retirement life. Whether you're nearing retirement or already enjoying your golden years, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to retire with peace.
Welcome back to the Retire with Peace podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dave Zaegel, and today we're going to talk about the government. I know, try to contain your excitement. We're going to talk about the government, but there's a very specific purpose behind it today, which is figuring out how to best work with them. A lot of times when you get into retirement, you're obligated to work with them. You need to file for Social Security, you're on Medicare, there's lots of different things going on that involve the government in receiving payments or benefits from them. But even before that, even before you get to retirement stage, you might get a notice from the IRS or from the state government on your tax returns. So there can be lots of times where you need to interact with the government, and it's not often easy to do so. I know every time we get a notice on a tax return that we've helped a client with, it's a little bit of a pain. It takes some time. Even if we've done everything spot on, you might have to get the government some additional information or clarification. And it's not as easy as just calling them up and saying, hey, let's figure this out, or getting on a chat somewhere like we're used to with pretty much everything else. A lot of times if you need customer service, most companies offer a pretty decent customer service experience and you can get things taken care of. With the government, not so much. Oftentimes you have to mail stuff in or sometimes fax stuff in. If you're lucky, maybe you can use email to correspond with them. So it's a difficult task. It can get done, but it's just harder than it needs to be to work with the government on these things. It's just important to be patient with it and understand that that's just where we're at with communicating with the government. But I bring all that up not to complain, although that is kind of therapeutic when you're constantly dealing with the government as we are. But the reason for bringing that up is to encourage everyone to set up accounts online with the various government entities. We see a lot of people that don't have an IRS.gov account or that haven't gone on their Social Security account in a long time, if ever. These are things you can set up to monitor to make sure everything is going smoothly. So we talked about Social Security is SSA.gov. Set up an account, review yours. Even if you're 30 years old, go in there and set up an account and make sure that the history is correct, that they're not missing a year of income for some random reason. Stay on top of that periodically. Make sure that they are properly tracking the Social Security benefits that you will eventually receive. And if you're retired, sure, go in there, set up an account, make sure everything's running smoothly. Same idea. I always encourage people also to get an IRS.gov login. That's where you can go in and review your IRS, your federal government tax account. If you get a notice, you can see the notice in there. If you need to pay a balance due, you can see it in there. All that activity is available. It's not a fantastic site, but it's there. The information's out there. You can get old transcripts. You can do so much out there that otherwise you're just kind of guessing or you're calling in to the IRS, which is a mess. But instead, if you can go to this website, see your information, see what's going on, make payments, review things, it makes your life a lot easier. Same thing if you're in a state that has income taxes, as most do, not all of them do, some don't. But if you're in a state that has income taxes, try to set up an account with that government so you can see everything that's happening, just like on the IRS website. The state website may not be as robust as the IRS website, but again, still good to get a login as much as possible just to see what's going on. It's going to make your life a lot easier when trying to figure out what you need to do or what information they already have. A lot of times if you receive a notice, if you don't have a login, you might not be able to see much history or know what's going on. And so you're trying to take this notice and somehow communicate with the government. And then there's a lot of back and forth on who has what and where the account's at. And that can still be difficult even if you have a login, but at least if you have a login to see your information, you have a head start on that. You can see exactly what they have, compare it to what you have, and go from there. It's just a better path forward, a better starting point for working with the government. So if you don't have these logins already, I encourage you to do that very soon, if not right away. Get a login to at least Social Security, the IRS, and your state income tax. Those three will help you out a lot. Just getting that information, making sure everything's correct, is going to save you a lot of headache down the road. Because almost inevitably, at some point in your life, you're probably going to get some notice from the IRS or your state income tax, and you're certainly going to get information from Social Security. So at some point, you're going to need information. Get the login, have it there right at your fingertips. It's going to save you a lot of hassle in the long term. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. I really appreciate your support and hope you found value in the conversation. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Your feedback helps keep the show growing. Until next time, take care and stay strong as we learn to retire with peace.